And we're leading the way on breaking news. Officials updating us on the deadly shooting in Smale Park from last night. Let's listen in to the chief.
Yesterday evening, we wanted to take this opportunity to give you an update of the events as we know them to have occurred last night. Last night at 10:48 p.m., Central Business Section officers responded to number 1 West Mering Way, Smale Park, for a report of multiple shooting victims. Upon arrival, the officers located 2 male and a female lying on the ground suffering from gunshot wounds. Cincinnati Fire Department was requested and responded to the scene. Upon arrival, they determined that one of the individuals, a male, was deceased on scene, and they provided transportation to UC Medical Center and Children's Hospital for the other victims. A few moments later, 2 additional shooting victims arrived at UC Medical Center by way of private conveyance, and they both were suffering non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. What we know right now, the on-scene deceased victim has been identified as Milo Watson, a male 16 years of age. Mr. Watson suffered from a single gunshot wound to his upper torso. The second individual that has now succumbed to his injuries has been identified as Mr. Dexter Wright, Jr., a male 19 years of age. He was also suffering from a gunshot wound to his upper torso. 3 additional victims identified: a female 17 years of age with a gunshot wound to her back and has been listed in critical condition at UC Medical Center. A 4th victim, a female 16 years of age, suffered a gunshot wound to her arm. And the 5th victim, a male 15 years of age, also suffering a gunshot wound to his arm. Based on the investigation at this point, and I remind you, it's still less than 24 hours old, but the information that we've been able to determine right now is Mr. Watson and Mr. Wright. We believe we're engaged in a verbal altercation that resulted in the 2 exchanging gunfire. The other victims that I mentioned were caught in the crossfire, and the investigation is still ongoing. We're still gathering video footage and other evidence, looking for additional witnesses to come forward. One of the things I also want to add is that I absolutely have to commend the work of our officers in their response to this incident. Truly, truly heroes. Officers applied tourniquets, rendered life-saving measures. One officer even intervened to try to save the individual that succumbed to his injury. So extremely, extremely heroic measures involved. I also want to thank CFD for their quick response as well. This has been an ongoing challenge in the park. There will be some additional efforts. Obviously, we are going to be asking our community partners to engage in some additional measures, some problem-solving efforts to render what is at the root of this problem here in Smale Park. This is not something that I think we can take lightly by any means. 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds should be able to come to the park on a given evening, a holiday weekend, and not have to be subject to gunfire. I'll open it up to any questions at this point.
Is it true that there's actually been a long-standing issue of youths with guns at the park?
You know, we started to see some challenges last year, but as I mentioned, this is going to take everyone being involved. It's a beautiful park. Everyone wants to enjoy our downtown area, but there has to be a solution than just police. managing this. We don't want to over-police, nor do we want to under-police. We want to find that correct balance, and in order to do that, we're going to have some partnerships here.
With that in mind, did CBD take any special interventions when that issue first came to light?
We've done a lot. Our central business section being led by Captain Doug Wiseman and his team. As a matter of fact, when these shots rang out, the officers were attempting to encourage people to leave as the park was closing at 11 p.m.
Do we know if the two people who apparently shot themselves had a previous history, or did it something to just flare up at the park, or
Some of
been a
these-
beef all day, or
Through the course of the investigation, some of the information we've been able to determine that there's been some type of ongoing disagreement between the two individuals, and believe it just spilled over yesterday evening at the park.
how do you keep 16 and 19-year-olds from bringing guns into the park?
That's our challenge, and that's where we need to find a way to do that.
Did you recover the weapons, Chief?
We have not recovered any firearms.
And the tourniquet, was it placed on which victim? The officer placed?
Do you know, Captain Saunders, which one? One of the female victims.
The one that's in critical?
No.
the arm.
Shot in the arm.
All right.
Is there video from down in that area? I know they were working on some cameras to get down there. I don't think those.
We're still working on some video footage. There may be indication that there may be some out there. We're trying to gather that right now.
Are you confident that the two shooters are also?
We're confident that these two individuals were involved in a disagreement. There is the potential that there may be some others involved. However, we are not actively looking for anyone by name at this point. We're still, as I mentioned, still less than 24 hours into the investigation, still trying to gather additional
But at this
information.
point, we think all of the shots fired were shot by the two.
We believe that this, we don't believe that this was someone that came down and just randomly fired shots into the crowd. These were two individuals that were involved in an argument. It sprang into gunfire, and tragically, several other individuals were hit in the crossfire.
And they had nothing to do with.
Not that we're aware of at this point.
When you say you need community help and you don't want to over-police, does that mean community resource officers? What does that mean? Do you have
That
people
means to
going
me,
with you?
we want people to come out. We want ministers, teachers, mentors. When our young people are out in activities and events, we want responsible adults to be there to supervise. We don't believe that uniformed police officers are necessarily the sole answer to monitor the activity of teens on a holiday weekend. As I mentioned, we want to find that correct balance. We don't want to over-police, nor do we want to under-police either.
There were anywhere from what we've heard between 400 to 500 people.
That
at the park
is
at
the
that
estimation that I've been given.
point? Is it a question of more aggressively enforcing a curfew, or?
It's the holiday weekend. Who doesn't want to come out and see fireworks on the holiday weekend? I don't believe that is the answer to what occurred last night. I think we need responsible adults to be responsible for juveniles. And police are not the sole responsibility for this. I think we all need to be partners in this effort.
Well, despite the fact that this was, a holiday weekend, it's understood, especially by residents in the area, that there's usually actually a lot of activity and crowds, people hanging around into the, wee hours of the morning, despite the fact that the park is closed. So do you have any tangible plans for more strictly engaging that area so that there isn't that presence there?
We have a lot of plans, and we try to enforce that. Again, you have to remember that is an entertainment district. There are a lot of people that are out past the time that the park closes. So we'll certainly be working with the park board and, again, all of our other community partners to try to find a solution to that.
Was this an organized gathering, Chief, of 400 or 500, or was it? an event?
It's my understanding that there was an event in the park. There were fireworks, and I think it just drew a larger crowd than was anticipated.
Just one other thing, the mayor said.
Largely teens.
The mayor said we need help from the community. What can the community do to get involved in something?
Just as I mentioned, teachers, mentors, coaches, our clergy, they need to be out to help. Everyone recognizes that this is not unique to Cincinnati. This is all over our nation, that we need everyone to help manage these situations. We see that oftentimes these activities spill over, particularly with our young people, it spills over into violence. So I think those are the things that help.
Chief, can we unpack the response just a little bit here? I know you all have a lot of people involved coming in from the police side of things. Can you kind of expand on what that looked like? I know we heard a lot on radio traffic, but obviously that only tells a part of the story. And then I have a second follow-up after.
Yeah, I mean, when something like this occurs, we bring in officers from all over the department. But I really want to thank our neighboring jurisdictions that came out to assist, as far away as Green Hills and Forest Park. I believe even some of the officers from Kentucky came over to assist. So when you have an incident like this, a number of people are injured, before you know what you're dealing with, you need that significant response. So definitely grateful for that.
And I know that you had an officer who actually took a victim, I guess, in a car to the hospital. What I heard on radio traffic, or what I believe we heard, was that there was an ambulance struggling to figure out where to go to get to them. So you guys had to jump in. Was there a bit of a struggle there getting medical help here as well?
A large crowd, chaotic scene. In a situation like that, the officer's vehicle is there. They're able to provide that service. And as I mentioned, their actions were nothing less than heroic.
Do you know, oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to ask, do you know how many events were taking place in the park? And also, did the CPD know in advance that there were fireworks?
I don't know how many, I don't have that right in front of me, how many events were taking place. Events taking place all over the city. It's the 4th of July. A lot going on. So, I mean, I'll just leave that right there right now.
Where were officers stationed throughout the park?
I can't tell you exactly where officers were stationed in the park at this point.
Chief, did you say that you have not recovered the weapons?
We have not.
Do you anticipate other charges?
Not at this point. As I mentioned, the investigation is still unfolding. If we get any investigative leads that lead us in that direction, we will aggressively pursue that.
I want
All
to
right.
ask one more question too, just about the plan leading up to this. It's a massive event. It was a weekend with so many people out. Was there a particular plan in place? I know you guys usually prepare for events and things like that. Was there a particular plan in place to handle something like this if it were to happen?
We always have plans in place. That's our response. When I talked about the other departments responding, that's our mutual aid agreements that we have with departments all over the region. In event that if it happens to them, if it happens in the city, we all assist each other. So those plans are always in existence.
And who
All right.
would specifically...
Last question,
Sure.
please.
Who would specifically be responsible for maybe alerting, the department about events, about fireworks specifically that...
We have a process in which if an organizer wants to hold an event, we have a permit process. We have they work typically with our event planning unit when those things come. It's no different than any of the other events, Taste of Cincinnati, Riverfest, Oktoberfest. We hold events throughout the city on a regular basis.
I'm sorry, how many more officers were stationed last night?
How many more officers?
Or were staffed perhaps?
I don't know. I don't know how many officers were staffed down there.
We had close to 70 or so respond.
I know 78 responded to that scene, but they were throughout different parts when a call for emergency comes like that.
We're going to wrap it up at this point because you're getting into some areas that this investigation is still ongoing, and we're going to keep you updated with more information through the Public Information Office. Sergeant Franz is the acting Public Information Officer right now, and Lieutenant Donna Robinson is back in town tomorrow. She'll be your primary point of contact. So for further information, stay tuned on our Twitter page @CincyPD, and for you all in the media, the WhatsApp group will connect you with more information that way. Okay.